We off?
30 seconds of carefree bliss.
Oof, like wind in your hair carefree.
Oh, like using Clorox Disinfecting All-Purpose Cleaner in the home carefree.
Yes.
Like dog slobbing on the coffee table and cleaning it with Clorox Carefree.
He's on a roll now.
Spit toothpaste on the faucet.
You got it. You got it.
Peanut butter on the light switch.
Oh, spritz.
Spritz. Clorox, man. Clean feels good.
Okay, we're back.
Use as directed.
In golf, precision is everything, on and off the course. PGA of America chose advanced 5G solutions from T-Mobile for Business for smooth operations and seamless transactions. Together, we enhance ticketing and concessions for better fan experiences from gate to green. This is pro-level efficiency. This is PGA of America with T-Mobile for Business. Take your business further at T-Mobile.com/now.
Welcome to Speak. I'm Joy Taylor, joined by two legends, Super Bowl champion Keyshawn Johnson and NBA Finals MVP Paul Pierce.
We back in the fight. We back in the fight.
Feeling good?
Feeling good today.
Did predict that was going to happen. It is a good day. Paul's Celtics are still alive
Back in the fight.
NBA playoffs. Boston avoided elimination, winning Game 5 without superstar Jason Tatum. Derek White led the Celtics with 34 points, and Jaylen Brown scored 26 to push the series to Game 6 tomorrow night in New York City. All right, Paul, you did say that you thought they were going to win. So what did your Celtics prove in Game 5?
They didn't really prove nothing I didn't already know. I knew they have heart. I knew they were resilient. I knew they could play well without Tatum. You know, they're, like we said before, they're 10-2 without Jason Tatum this year, 8-2 during the season, 2-0 in the playoffs now. And they have resolve. Now, they can prove something to me if they can push it to Game 7. That would say a lot. You know, to go into New York with some resolve and push it to Game 7 at home, where it would be our advantage, that would say a lot to me. But listen, people forget, it doesn't matter. We're the reigning champs, and we're not going to just bow out like that. That's not what reigning champs do.
Talk with your chest in.
No, that's what I'm saying. I had to get another breath in there. That's not what reigning champs do. Now, if they're going to win a Game 6 in New York, I'm going to need more from Porzingis, though. And I know he's dealing with some breathing issues that Coach Mazzulla brought up. But in his time out there, I can use a little more impact. But these guys are going to play hard. They're not going to lay down. They are the reigning champs, like I said, and I expect a fight come Friday. And I expect the Boston faithful to get ready for Game 7.
You know, when you look at it, you say they still have a shot with Tatum out because of the depth that they have from basically 1 down to about 9, even 10, you can push it, that they had the depth. So you just felt like if you can get Derek White and you can get Brown and you can get some of the others and Al Horford and company to chip in, as I said yesterday, you get that game in Boston. Now you switch it back to New York. The Knicks, they just got so tight they can't shoot a BB out, okay? That's exactly what has just happened to them. Now you all of a sudden got to go back.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Yeah.
We use that in our player locker rooms. That's what we said.
Player talk.
Yeah, that's player talk.
You know? No, for Paul, yeah, especially in this climate that we in right now, but I get it.
I heard that a lot of sports talk.
Y'all, leave. Oh, God. But,
All right, stay focused.
Yeah, I'm focused. You the one.
New York is very tight.
Tight. But so when you look at that, though, going home to 6, it's 1 game. Mm-hmm. Yesterday was 1 game.
Yeah.
You can't start looking at Game 7. Just look at Game 6. Correct the mistakes from Game 5 and carry them over into Game 6. Fix whatever it is. You mentioned Porzingis. Whatever it is, he just hasn't been able to add any real value right now. So hopefully he can get better and do that and push that game back to Boston. Because I think this time around, unlike with Miami, if they get back to Boston, they'll be playing Indy. That's what I believe. If they get back to Boston, they'll play Indy because this will be one of those colossal meltdowns for the New York Knicks.
You're counting on that meltdown for the Knicks. You've been saying that.
I'm not really counting on it. I could
You've been saying that since the series started.
See. It's a lot. There's a lot going on with all the hype and everything. You know how New York is. They win 1 or 2 games and people go crazy.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, I still think that the series is essentially over, but I'm not surprised that they won this game because they are the reigning champs and they do have Jaylen Brown. He is Finals MVP and a fantastic player, and they are deep and well coached and disciplined, and they have pride. Like, you're just not going to get gentlemen swept. Now, I thought New York was going to come out with more effort because of what you guys are saying about Game 7, that New York would feel the anxiety of needing to put the Celtics down when they have the opportunity to. But on the other hand, I can see the pitch of, all right, we didn't play our best game. We got a little wiggle room here to go back to New York and close them out in Game 6 if you're New York. Again, teams down 3-1 have a 4.4% chance of coming back. So I think New York is going to take care of business and move on to the Eastern Conference Finals in this next game. But I'm not surprised that the Celtics, as good as they are, as deep as they are, and with the star power they do still have available, that they were able to push it to 6.
You got to rethink about it this way, though, Joy. Regular season 8-2, postseason 2-0 without Tatum. As I said yesterday, Paul, they can make the adjustment. So when you lose in Game 4 with Tatum hurt, even though you was getting beat toward the end, you know what I'm saying now?
But you're confident they can win the series without him? Because I'm confident that they can win a game.
No, I'm confident. That's all they need. They need a game.
No.
No, they
needed that game and then they another game and then another
They needed a game, which was yesterday, and they need a game, which is tomorrow. One game at a time, Joy. Just one. Okay. You looking ahead.
You know, the crazy part about this series, the Celtics in every single game have been up double figures. And then when you look at the total points scored in the series, they're destroying the Knicks in total points. I don't know about how much, but I believe it's probably by about like close to 30 points in total points scored in the series. So it tells me, like, I know we can get a lead. It's just about closing the deal, and we was able to do that last game. So moving forward, like you said, one game at a time, the pride of a champion.
I didn't say all that.
And this listen, this will be.
Get it together.
Hey, listen, we got to do this for JT. We got to do this for the city. We got to do this for me. I took this walk. I took a 20-mile walk. They got to do it for me. I mean, come on now.
That OG walk.
Come on, I took an OG walk. They gotta go in New York and get this, Key, Joy. Come on, I sacrificed.
Man, that stress.
His knees ain't been the same.
Man, ain't been the same.
You got to get him some recovery boots.
You have been up 3. You were up 3-1. That stress level has kicked in now because you up against it. You know what I'm saying? Now all of a sudden you drop this Game 6. It's even. Everything is. You should have at 3-1. You should have gone home by now. Everybody should be going home. You should.
Well, that's why I really believe the Knicks have to win this next game because I don't.
1,000%.
I think Game 7.
That's what I just told you.
All of the pressure is going to be on the Knicks.
I think all the pressure's on
right
them now. Right now.
All the pressure is. Yeah.
Yeah, because they think we can't lose it.
We just all believe that it gets to Game 7 that Boston's going to win.
Right.
They scared right now.
Like right now,
Tibbs is spook right now. He's spook. Trust me, spook.
There's some pressure out there.
I've been in these situations where you're supposed to win a quarter, and then all of a sudden you look up and you're not winning that quarter, and then all of a sudden it gets tight, and then boom, the next thing you know it's over.
Can't get tight, New York. You're going to be loose.
Then that
Not
avalanche.
tight.
You've never heard that before, Joe? You never heard
Huh?
that? You never heard that in sports talk?
Let's talk about the other big game. The Wolves closed out the Warriors in Game 5 last night. Anthony Edwards led Minnesota in scoring this postseason, knocking off LeBron's Lakers and Steph's Warriors on the way to the Wolves' second straight Western Conference Finals. He's just collecting legends like Thanos, just lining them up. So, Paul, is Anthony Edwards a top blank player in the NBA? Why would you rank him? Anthony Edwards is a top what player in the NBA? Finish that sentence.
Anthony Edwards is a top. Now,
No.
in the meeting I said top 10. I did say top 10, but then I had to look down at the names, and I'm looking like Anthony Edwards is a top 5 player. You know why? Because I'm taking Luka out, and I'm putting Ant-Man in. Because for the simple fact, I don't have no questions about his conditioning.
Okay.
I don't have no questions about about his defense. I don't have no questions. And we all know he can play with anybody offensively. And there was rumors that Dallas called Minnesota before they called the Lakers for Anthony Davis and asked for Anthony Davis, and they was like, hell no. Y'all don't call us back. And that's the reason. So I did say top 10 because, yes, I'll take him over Bron right now. He's a better defender than Bron right now. Mm-hmm. He's a better offensive player than LeBron right now.
Okay, so you're taking him over Luka.
And LeBron. So that puts him in my top 5 of the guys I have now.
Who are in your top 5?
So my top 5 in today's game right now is Joker, who's the best player, Giannis, Tatum, SGA, and, of course, Ant-Man.
Okay. So you have Luka and Steph outside of your top 5 right now.
Yes.
Anthony Edwards is a top what player in the NBA, Keith?
I would say top 7, but I ain't gonna order it. I'm just going 7. Top 7. However you want to slice it up. I'm just gonna say 7. Because when you look at it, you could put him in the top 5 like Paul, if you choose to do so. But I think when you start talking Luka, Giannis, Tatum, SGA, and Joker and Steph, he's in that top 7. Whatever that is. However you want Joker to be 1 and Giannis to be 2, or you want Joker to be 1 and SGA to be 2 and
No, let's just
Ant-Man 3.
let's just leave Joker at 1. Let's leave him over there.
So he's a top 7.
That's
deserved. I mean, like, there's no shade. I mean, Steph Curry.
That's shade. That's shade.
Start stuff.
That's
Paul.
shade.
Don't start.
Yeah, no, that's shade.
Paul better not start with me on no shade. Because he had one of his teammates traded. He better leave me alone.
Stop. Relax. It's Friday, okay? It's our Friday.
He got Antoine traded.
That's shade.
So stop. I think he is one of the superstar elites of the NBA. So let's call that the top 10. So the top 10. He's one of the top 10 players in the NBA. Because here's where I'm with you. I don't have no problem with him being in the top 5. I don't have a problem with you moving Luka out.
Me neither.
But I would put Luka in because Luka did take his team to the finals last year.
Yes,
now,
he did.
we are in the midst of his playoff run, So we don't know where this is going to end. It could end in the Western Conference Finals. It could end with him going to the finals. It could end with him winning the finals. The rest of the story, I think, will tell what changes for him because he's building his legacy as we speak. But as we sit here right now on today, May 15th, he is in the top 10. There, you can move all these guys around. I mean, Giannis to me, Shea, Jokic, and Tatum have to be up there because they've won championships recently.
Yeah.
They have the MVPs.
Well, Shea hasn't won. Shea hasn't been.
Shea's gonna win.
Shea hasn't been to the finals.
Shea is going to win an MVP though this year. If he doesn't win an MVP, he's going to be runner-up. And Anthony Edwards has finished 7th in the MVP voting.
Okay.
It's the highest that he's finished. So that's why I'm going to put Shea above him for right now.
Okay.
Now, we assume he's going to win the MVP this year. But again, if their credentials are basically the same, eventually we've got to measure somewhere. You know what I mean?
So who's your top 5? You said Joker?
No, she said a 10.
I said he's in the top 10.
Oh, he says in the top 10.
I'm trying to think.
Well, I think he's probably around 5 or 6.
Okay.
Yeah, he probably 5, 6.
But I'm not mad at any of those rankings. But to me, he's in an incredible position right now. We know that he swept KD and Booker in 2024. He just beat LeBron. He just beat Steph. He is geared up and primed.
He beat Joker.
He beat Joker.
Listen to this list y'all saying.
Yes. So he swept KD and Booker.
In the postseason, must say.
Yeah.
Yes. In the postseason when it counts. Then he beat Joker and the Nuggets. He's beat the Lakers, LeBron and Luka. And then the Warriors, Draymond, Jimmy, and Steph. And he gentleman swept both the Lakers and the Warriors.
Oh, but wait a minute. What about last year?
Yeah, we did that.
Bye-bye. He beat KD.
KD and Booker. KD and Booker and Joker.
His list.
That's what I said. He's Thanos. He's just lining them up.
He's just putting
one
people
more,
on them.
and that is the finals. So would a championship make Ant the face of the NBA? Key.
No, it's different than Paul's era of basketball or even when Jordan and Magic and Bird and all. It's just different now because you got a group of these young superstars, as you just mentioned. You just rattled off a bunch of them that's all kind of clustered together, right? We said, is Luka going to be the face of the league? Can Joker be the face of the league? Can SGA be the face of the league? if Ja comes back on point, could he be the face of the league? So you just got all these guys that's like clustered up. So I don't know. And to me, the face of the league is just you're everywhere. Tatum, like you're just everywhere. You're all over the place, every commercial, every shoe contract. I mean, your shoes is flying off the shelf. When people think of you internationally, the first thing they think of is Ant-Man. I just don't know if the league is set up the same way it was 20 years ago.
See, I think it is, because I think the formula is exactly the same, which is we have this conversation a lot. Who's going to be the next face of the league? Because we know LeBron is the face of the league.
Yeah.
But LeBron is nearing the end of his career, and we desperately want to crown the next. We had this whole conversation last year in the finals, or in the playoffs.
But it's hard. But to me,
and is the next Jordan, and like the comparisons, and he's coming up. To me, there's a formula to being the face of the league.
Is he going to win 2 championships in the next 5 years?
Maybe.
So now, if that sort of thing happens,
But the first thing he has to do is get to the finals.
Yes.
That's step one.
Yeah.
The second step
Absolutely.
is win a championship.
Yes.
So you can't be the face of the league if you are not winning a championship.
and that's my
So that's
my
step
point.
one to me. But Ants has the other stuff.
No, he does,
that
for
you
sure.
need to be the face of a league. He is compelling. He is interesting. He has a vibe and an energy that we all connect to. That old school
really jump really
basketball,
high.
talk trash, like rivalries. He's not backing down from anyone. He plays very physical. He's a very exciting player. You're not falling asleep watching him. He's jumping from the foul line and dunking. Like he has all of that, and he's polarizing. That's why we keep trying to say, like, we want Ant to be the face of the league, because he has the concoction to do it. But the winning part has to happen in order for him to really step into that. But I think it's still possible, and I think the league still needs it.
Got to win them championships, though.
No, I think.
Yeah, but you got to
it
start with
goes-
one.
No, I think it goes a lot further than that, because if it was just like all of those things that Joy said, then why isn't Tatum the face of the league now, currently? He just won a championship.
He's not polarizing.
Well, he's been first team. He's winning. Like we're saying.
It's not just about winning, though, because then Jokic would unequivocally be the face of the NBA.
Right. So I look at, in my eyes, who's been the face of the NBA since I've been alive? Magic Johnson.
Snack, crackle, pop.
Would you agree with that?
Yeah, a lot of snack, crackle, pop.
Jordan.
A lot of snack, crackle, pop.
LeBron.
A lot of snack, crackle, pop.
And the one thing I see that they all have in common, yes, they all won championships and multiple MVPs. But earlier today we said where do you rank SGA? Between 5 and 10, what the consensus probably is saying. These guys were pushing to be the greatest players of all time, all 3 of them, in their era.
But Ant is young.
Can we say that even at a young age, we said Magic can be the greatest player ever?
Well, that's because
Did we not say that?
That's because Magic walked in 1979 and won an NBA final.
Right. But even
Or was it 80?
LeBron was crowned the king and said, this is the one guy that can push Jordan since day one,
He
right?
came out of high school going
But did we
crazy.
not say that?
Yeah, but he came out of high school going
And
crazy.
in the Olympics, when Jordan was in the Olympics, Bobby Knight, when they beat the Olympic team, the college Olympic team, Bobby Knight said, this is the best player he's ever saw.
You're making points. So you're saying that in order to
and
be
these
the
are all
face
the-
of the NBA, we have to be saying you potentially could be the greatest player ever. Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what all these guys have in common.
And Kobe is in that conversation
I mean,
as well.
yes, this is what they all have in common.
And
They're pushing.
but that could be coming for him because he's so young, like Joy was saying,
But we're not saying that right now.
because he hasn't won a
It
championship
doesn't matter.
yet.
We weren't saying that
to
with
Paul's
LeBron.
point.
We
Yeah,
weren't saying that
Yeah,
before
but
Jordan.
But 3 years in,
We took-
but 3
Jordan
years. But
didn't
think about it though. 3 years in, though, Paul, you was in
we
the
were
conference with
saying
him.
we were saying Jordan is the best player before he won his first championship. They were saying that about LeBron before he won his first championship.
Because Jordan's
Magic
looked
is the
like it
only
was
one.
coming. Jordan's looked like it was getting
But
ready.
Magic is the only one that came in and said, let me get that championship out the gate.
I'm a jump center.
Yeah, let me get that out the gate.
I think he has
So
an
you
opportunity.
see what I'm saying?
I think he has an opportunity.
I think he does too. But I absolutely understand what you're saying. Like it's a good argument. We said that about all of them. But we'll see. Coming up, Josh Allen knocks Lamar Jackson out of the playoffs last year. So Ravens-Bills is going to be a spicy matchup in week 1. We'll talk about it next on Speak. And don't forget, you can check us out every day on the Fox Sports channel on Sirius XM.
ChatGPT Plus is free for college students through May. Here's the thing. You've got a lot to do between now and then. Studying for finals, writing papers, trying to keep your life on track, and ChatGPT can help with all of it. It can quiz you for your econ exam, make a study guide from your French notes, plan out your meals and study breaks. It can get really specific on how you like to learn. It can even help you come up with ways to stop procrastinating. So from now until summer break, take advantage of all the ways ChatGPT can make your life easier. Restrictions apply.
Lamar Jackson will have Derrick Henry by his side for another 3 seasons after the running back signed a 2-year, $30 million extension this week. The Ravens opened the season in Buffalo against Josh Allen and the Bills in prime time. Both teams are co-favorites to win the AFC and have the second best odds to win the Super Bowl. Joseph Keyshawn Johnson. Who has the better chance of winning the Super Bowl this season, the Ravens or the Bills?
I feel like the Ravens. I feel like the Ravens.
You don't seem very committed to that.
I know it's kind of weird because both of them.
You said it so quickly in the meeting earlier.
I know, but both of them are so promising with the quarterbacks. They upgraded the offense for Josh Allen a little bit. They lost some members on their defensive side, but so did the Ravens losing offensive lineman, but they bring Henry back. They signed a couple receivers. They get Zay Flowers back healthy. I'm gonna say the Ravens. I'm gonna say he's got to come through this year because he's gone every step, right? He's gone to the wild card, the divisional round, the championship game. It's now the next step. It's time to take the next step. And I feel like Lamar's ready to do that. I do. We are not hearing much about him in the offseason, which is a good thing to me. Like, we're not talking about his finances and if he needs a new contract. We're not talking about him needing weapons. We're not talking about any of that. We're not talking about surgeries. We're not saying anything like that. That's a good thing.
Well, who wins?
Man, I like Buffalo. I mean, Buffalo has the psychological edge, knowing that they beat them in the playoffs a year ago. Josh Allen is coming off an MVP, and I know he wants nothing more but to win a championship. But when I look at their schedule, man, this is tough because I know Lamar's going to put up MVP numbers again, but it just seems like momentum is on the Buffalo side. So I'm going to go with Buffalo. I like their schedule. I got them winning 11 games. You know, when I looked at it, I got them at 11-5. But I do have Baltimore winning actually 12 games. So
what games you got them losing, Paul?
The Ravens? The Ravens?
My favorite game.
Yeah.
Yes.
I got them losing versus Detroit, Kansas City, Houston, and Los Angeles.
So you got them losing 4 games in a row?
Yeah, they're going to lose 4 in a row. Then they're going to win like 10 in a row.
Well, I guess we know how.
Look, then I got them winning 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 in a row. And then lose at Green Bay. They're going to win the next 10 out of 11.
The crazy thing, though, is I really got them at 16-1.
You got them at 16-1.
I think they are, when we were prepping earlier, I was like, they're the same team. And, of course, they have the exact same odds. They're the same team. They're dual-threat MVP quarterbacks. They're good organizations. They're well-coached, good fan bases, been to the AFC Championship game and no further. They're both really good teams trying to take down the Chiefs. Like, are they built exactly the same? No. But when you look at what they are, they're the same.
Yeah, they are.
They're the same. So it's really hard to say who's going to break through. It's going to come down to health. It's going to come down to momentum at the end of the season. But, you know, if you want to say the Ravens, I get it.
I got them going 16-1, Joy.
Maybe. I mean, they absolutely could.
So you got them. All right, I'm looking at it. I mean, that's what I'm saying.
I got them losing to Buffalo on opening day. And after that, they're going to run crazy.
And the rest of them. What about verse? They could beat Philly. What about No, this is Buffalo. Okay. What about
they don't play Philly? What you mean?
What about at Kansas City? At Kansas City?
Yeah, I got them beating Kansas City in Kansas City.
Okay.
They shoulda, woulda, coulda last year if it wasn't for the toe on the back end line.
At Green Bay, that'll be a difficult one at the end of the season.
So they're just not losing.
They
in
got
the
a
AFC
favorable.
North.
They got a
Man, I'm
favorable.
telling you.
they got a
Okay,
favorable
so
schedule, though.
Buffalo, I got them losing.
Okay.
Cleveland, I got them beaten.
Okay.
I understand you still in love with Detroit because of whatever reason, but when you lose
What
a
about
staff,
Cincinnati? They're going to beat Cincinnati twice?
they always beat Cincinnati. Tyler, what's their record recently against Cincinnati? They always beat Cincinnati.
And then, I mean, they're going to win a lot of their road games.
I'm just looking. I'm
I
telling
just
you,
don't
man,
know
I'm
if they
looking.
I don't know if they're going to go into Kansas City and get that win.
Miami, they going to get that. Minnesota, I don't know who's quarterback in Minnesota. Chicago, I'm not in love with.
How many wins do you have with Buffalo?
I didn't even look at Buffalo's yet, though.
I got them with 11 wins.
Well, over to the Cowboys, where Micah Parsons was with CeeDee Lamb on a live stream reacting to the 2025 schedule release. Micah felt pretty confident about the Dallas Cowboys bouncing back after missing the playoffs last year. Let's take a listen.
Honestly, I see us having another 12-win season. That's my prediction. 12 wins minimum.
I'm ready for like everything.
I see 12
Everything.
wins.
Line them up and we're going to see them boys.
CD going to have 1,400 yards. Every 100 yards, I'm going to have a sack. So if CD got 2,000 yards, I'm going to have 20 sacks. Every 100 yards CD got, that's how many sacks I'm going to have. Put it like that. If CD got 1,500 yards, I'm going to have 15 sacks.
You guys golf?
No.
I know how. I just haven't been in a while.
Yeah, me
I
too.
would think that you golf, Key.
Why, I look like a golfer?
You do.
I absolutely don't. No, I don't golf. No.
That's like Key saying,
Man.
right?
1, 2,
No, I don't
3,
golf
4,
at all.
5, 6.
For real,
I
don't.
believe you. I believe you. But you hang out in like the clubhouse though.
Yeah, for sure.
Sushi and golf. Paul, do you agree with Micah about the Cowboys winning 12 games? How many games do you have the Cowboys winning?
I love Micah and I love his confidence and his optimism. I don't know if he looked at the schedule yet.
Hey.
Because when I look at the schedule, it's hard for me to give him more than 8 wins. Now, at Philly, I gave him at Chicago. I gave him at New York. I gave him at Carolina. It's hard for me to give him at Denver. I gave him at Las Vegas. But outside of that, this is a tough schedule.
What do you have him at? 7?
I got him at 8 wins.
8?
Yeah, I got him at 8 wins.
Their over-under is 7.5.
They'll cover. That's a good bet. They'll cover that.
I was trying to get him in the playoffs, and the schedule came out, and it changed my whole thought process.
He looked at it and was like, this is tough.
But I was giving him the playoffs just based on George Pickens, but then once I look at the schedule, I'm like, damn, I really messed up, huh? Because I got him at 7 wins. Based on just...
I mean, you guys aren't far off. The
based
over-under
on-
is 7.5.
Like, I got him losing to Philly, beating the Giants, losing to Chicago, losing to Green Bay, losing to the Jets, beating Carolina, losing to Washington, losing to Denver, beating Arizona, winning in Vegas, losing to Philly, losing to Kansas City, losing to Detroit,
Winning.
beating Minnesota, losing to the Chargers, losing to Washington, and beating the Giants.
That's exactly the same, pretty much I got.
Yeah.
Man.
I have them at 8 wins, too. I mean, 8 or 9 wins. 12 wins, here's the thing.
No, they not get 12 wins.
They were,
Stop. Micah tripping.
Well, they had 12 wins. They were 12-5 3 times under Mike McCarthy.
Yeah.
But I think...
With a better defense and a better running game, much better defense. Defense was turning the ball over, giving it back to them in short fields.
I think they have underestimated how hard it is to win 12 games.
That is tough.
Well, you said they have underestimated how hard it is.
But again, like we talked about this yesterday, I don't have the list in front of me, but when they were winning those 12 games, they did not have any real competition in Washington.
Yeah.
You just said they're going to lose to Washington twice. That was not the case.
No, I
Maybe they
understand.
would split
I
with them.
understand.
Like they're going Philly is the Super Bowl champions. The Giants are not going to be great, but they're not going to be as bad as they've been. Like the division is much harder. That's why it's crazy to me that they didn't break through when they had the opportunity to. Because now it's going to be so much harder to even get to the playoffs. Because you're not going to be able to count and win the division.
Actually, there's a path for them to win 12 games, but it has to start at the beginning. Because you know how big wins can catapult a team's confidence and get them going. If they win the first game of the season at Philadelphia.
That's a big deal.
That's a huge deal.
But Philadelphia's trying to send a message, though, Paul.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. Now, if they get that first game, you know, team confidence and everything can really start flowing.
They can start off 3-0.
Yeah.
Because they're going to beat the Giants, and I think they can beat Chicago.
So the way, if they win the first game, I can see them winning 12 games.
And the Cowboys split with Washington a year ago, too.
And they can split with them, yeah.
So, but
that's the path, though.
You asked me about golf. You know what? I like golf and everything like that, Joy, so I kind of lied to you a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
I love sushi, you know, so at the end of the day, you know, that's just, you look at that, bam. Ooh, wee.
Not bad.
That's solid.
Man, that dude right there, he just pick it up, just go.
That's solid.
He doesn't want any more accusations about, you know, not eating chicken, you know what I mean? Not going out.
Ooh, man. Where you at, Jordan? Anytime you want to tee him up, MJ, let me know.
Oh, I got
Barkley,
his card.
all y'all, just let me know.
I already got his card. It's in my back pocket. We took that a long time ago.
What, my black card? Man,
You didn't get it back when we ranked the hot sauces.
Y'all gonna have these people up here really thinking that I'm not down for the cause. Y'all gotta stop that. Y'all gotta stop that. Seriously.
Man.
Y'all gotta stop that.
Give us a political take.
On what?
How do you feel about the 14th Amendment?
Coming up,
we've got schedules
like,
for all 32 teams. Key will tell you which revenge games he's looking forward to the most. Key's big list is next on Speak.
Parents of tweens, if you're familiar with far-off drop-offs...
Dad, stop, right here.
Or get DMs about what's for dinner, you may be experiencing tween milestones. For your son or daughter, these can start at age 9. HPV vaccination, a type of cancer prevention against certain HPV-related cancers, can start then too.
For most, HPV clears on its own. But for those who don't clear the virus, it can cause certain cancers later in life.
Embrace this phase. Help protect them in the next.
Ask their doctor today about HPV vaccination. Brought to you by Merck.
Schedules were released yesterday, and there's so many good games for us to enjoy this fall. In Key's big list this week, Key will focus on the best revenge games. Take it away, Key.
Ooh, revenge games. That means people are mad about something, they lost about something, all those sort of things. Sitting at number 6 is the Seahawks at the Pittsburgh Steelers in Week 2 on Fox. DK Metcalf spent his first 6 seasons of his career in Seattle. Now he's going to face his former team, as you can see, in Week 2 on Fox. Number 5, the Kansas City Chiefs against the Buffalo Bills. In Week 9, this will be a rematch of the AFC Championship game. Patrick Mahomes has won 4 of the last in the playoffs against the Bills, but lost the last 4 in the regular season. So if I'm the Buffalo Bills, I want to flip that. Okay, you got to flip that. Meaning you should automatically let somebody lose to them so you can beat them if you see them in the postseason. Sitting at number 4, the Chicago Bears against the Detroit Lions. Week 2 on Fox. Okay, my first coach's revenge game. Ben Johnson faces his former team as a head coach and his boss, Dan Campbell, his former boss in Dan Campbell. The Lions were 5-1 against the Chicago Bears with Ben Johnson as their offensive coordinator the last 3 seasons. Number 3, the Green Bay Packers at the Steelers. This one's going to be juicy because of Aaron Rodgers in Week 8. Spent 18 seasons, counted 18 seasons with the Green Bay Packers. And this would be his first time playing against the Packers since he left. Number 2, the Pittsburgh Steelers against the New York Jets. So let me see. So if Aaron Rodgers is the Steelers quarterback and they go in against the Jets and now Fields is the quarterback and this game is Week 1. This one won't be just Aaron Rodgers against his former team and coach. It'll be against Justin Fields, which is interesting, as I said before. So as you look at this, you move on from here. After he went 4-2 as a starter, he's moved on from Pittsburgh to the New York Jets because they didn't want him anymore. Get out. No good. So that'll be juicy. And number 1, how could it not be? The Philadelphia Eagles and the Kansas City Chiefs, Week 2 here on Fox. This is one In last year's game, in terms of the rematch, Patrick Mahomes got sacked a career high 6 times in the Super Bowl. Vic Fangio didn't bring any pressure from the secondary, all up front. This is big right here, man. This is a big rematch game. Talk about rematch. I lost to the Philadelphia Eagles in the Super Bowl. I'm trying to get back at them. This is a big matchup in week 2, and it's here on Fox. You got to be excited about that one. Now, this one right here, Joy, your Pittsburgh Steelers against your New York Jets. Your nephew, starting tight end, I predict, for the New York Jets is Mason Taylor. Going up against Aaron Rodgers, I predict he'll sign. Justin Fields throwing him many touchdowns in week 1, so you'll make you and Pops proud. Then you go right here, Packers and the Steelers, Aaron Rodgers facing his former team. Then you go down here.
Oh, my God. You know what? I just realized the 2 of these are. This is all about Aaron Rodgers.
A lot of them are.
This whole list is about Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, a lot of them are. I mean, if you really kind of dive into it, you got an Aaron Rodgers mess over here, a little Aaron Rodgers, little mess over there. You know, so a little Aaron Rodgers mess down here a little bit. Oh, Aaron Rodgers, huh? But it's good. Look, Ben Johnson going up against his former team. Now you got the Chiefs and the Bills. This one is big because, as I said,
Bills is going to be great.
But they should just lose to them in the regular season. Just lose to them to flip it.
They should.
Flip that.
They should. Well, you know, also Mason is not from Pittsburgh, but we are from Pittsburgh. My family,
he's from Pittsburgh.
Even though he's from South Florida, but you know, our family's in Pittsburgh. My sister's there. We have a lot of family there, so there'll be a lot of family there. It'll be his first experience getting a bunch of tickets.
I saw him this morning. He's a big dude, Paul. He's really big.
Only game.
Here we go.
No, it's a game.
Here we go.
I don't know what happened to
The
tomatoes.
Washington Commanders versus the Chicago Bears, the 2 rookies.
Yeah, but
in the Hail Mary game,
nothing's better than this, though.
You got the 2 rookie. These 2 quarterbacks are going to be linked for the rest of their career.
That's true.
Caleb,
but we got
Jada.
6 spots. They're not better than these 6. Aaron Rodgers, the Super Bowl.
Where's Aaron Rodgers at? He's not playing.
Yeah, but
he's not even on the team.
But he's going to be with the Steelers. I'm predicting he's a Steeler.
Okay.
And this is a team, and my best friend, one of my best friends, and Aaron Glenn, get out. Get out.
You remember
You're no good
he had
anymore.
insider information. That's
No,
why
I did have insider trading.
watch.
AG just thinks like me, and I wouldn't have wanted Aaron Rodgers if I was their coach.
Coming up, Steph Curry could only watch as Golden State's season ended last night. It's time for the Warriors' exit interviews. That's next on Speak.
Experience a progressive lens engineered with AI from Essilor, powered by individual measurements of your visual behavior. A lens personalized to you by an Essilor expert. Discover Verilux XR Track and enjoy instantly sharp vision in motion and seamless transitions from near to far. Find your local Essilor expert today at Essilor.com.
We down 3-1. We've been here before. Don't worry about it. We've been here before. I don't care if we did lose our best player. You see up here in this Raptors? We got 18 banners up there. You know who we are? We the defending champs.
Boston, without their star, really showing up.
Don't nobody come in our building, game 5, and end the series on us. Let's get it together. Let's go. Let's go.
Well, they listened. Paul's Celtics stayed alive last night. The Warriors, though, their season ended in a gentleman's sweep. So it's time for us to grade Golden State's key contributors in our exit interviews for the Warriors. We'll start with the newest Warrior, Jimmy Butler, who wasn't able to fully activate playoff Jimmy in his 42 total appearances with Golden State this season. Paul, grade for Jimmy Butler this season.
I got Jimmy Butler with an A-, and I'll tell you why. And a lot of people may not agree with this because before Jimmy Butler came on the team with the Warriors, I had them being a playoff team. I had them being I have to put it up bigger. A playoff team.
The last man.
Hey, there we go. You know, and I said their ceiling was first-round exit. But when Jimmy got there, they were one of the best teams in the league. And if Steph had been healthy, I believe he could have pushed them into the conference finals. So I give Jimmy Butler an A.
P, what's yours?
Well, you think about it similar to what Paul is saying. A solid A, right? Giving a nice, solid A right here. Okay. Because coming over, blowing up the fan, coming over to mid-season. So, look, the team was 25-25 till he got there.
Yeah.
And once he got there, they turned into 29-16, and he tried to hold it together. It's Steph Curry's team and a little bit of Draymond's team, so he had to kind of fit into the situation. When he gets a full off-season, assuming they all come back, they'll be much better off. Got to give him an A.
I'm going to go B+. I think he did an excellent job based on the circumstances that he had to deal with that you just mentioned coming out into the season. You know, it's Steph Curry's team. But I have seen Jimmy go far in the playoffs. Now, I do think that it wasn't his team. There's some factors in it. But overall, I'm giving him a B+. It's just like slightly under an A. But overall, really good grade. Let's move on to the rest of the squad. Draymond Green is 35 years old, and Buddy Hield, Moses Moody, Brandon Pajemski, the only role players on the roster next season to pair with Steph, Jimmy, and Dre. So, Paul, what grade are you giving the Warriors supporting cast this season?
The supporting cast, I give them a solid B. You know, they had games where they helped the superstars win the game. Buddy Hield, a great Game 7, turned in his best Klay Thompson performance. And then, listen, when they started giving Kuminga some minutes, it looked like he was performing. And so I like what I saw out of him. Obviously, Pajemski, he was solid in the last game on the go-out game, had about 28 points.
Go-out game.
Yeah. I mean, you know, so I can't knock them. You know, Draymond is going to be Draymond. You never know. He can sometimes give you 20 points, but his intangibles is the things that get them going with his leadership. So I give their supporting cast a B.
You know, I would love to take Paul's classes in high school and in college because he gives his grades out with no problem at all. Look, I'm not going to be as nice as Paul. It's a C- for me. You know what I'm saying? I look at it and I say it's C- because although Kuminga didn't play as much and get the time that he should have gotten, they needed to bring in Jimmy Butler to get to the playoffs and not the play-in. When you look at the cast of characters, and the cast of characters, as far as role players, even in the postseason when they lose Steph Curry, those guys didn't necessarily step up.
Yeah.
Okay? Jimmy Butler stepped up, but they didn't really all contribute at the level that you would have hoped. There was many games that we talked about just in the postseason alone. We talked about what if they did this, if they did that, if it was a fifth, you already know the rest of that. And so I got to give them a C-.
I'm going B. I'm like a good, you know, yeah, everybody can't get an A, but you're not gonna fail my class. I'm going B. I think they did what they could do, and also you lost Steph. You know, it changes the dynamic of the team. They're role players for a reason. They're supposed to step up in moments. They're not supposed to carry you. So But is
this about the postseason or is this about the season?
Well, I mean, it's a combination of both.
But if they would have stepped up in the regular season,
they're role players. They're not your stars.
Well, I know, but if they would have stepped up and contributed, they wouldn't be in a position to have to fight to get into the playoffs.
All right, Mr. Meanie. Steve Kerr won 5 titles as a player and 4 more as the head coach of the Warriors. That doesn't stop fans in the Bay from questioning his rotations and calling for his job. So, Paul, what grade are you giving Steve Kerr this season?
I'm giving Steve Kerr a B this year.
I need your class.
For the simple fact that, you know, I thought he could have played Kuminga a little bit earlier. And I don't think they would have struggled as much against the Houston Rockets if he had been in the rotation, pushing them to 7 games. But, you know, Steve Kerr did all what he can do. You know, like you said, before Jimmy Butler, they was 25-25. That's the reason I got him at a B. Jimmy got an A. Kerr, he got him in the playoffs, but they would have been a play-in team, even probably like an 8, 9, 10 seed if Jimmy Buckets didn't come. So I give Kerr a B, which is good. This is good. Solid.
Yeah, I'm giving Kerr a C. Steve Kerr gets a C. And the reason he gets a C is 25-25 before Jimmy Butler. And it's almost, I feel like, he's gotten to the stage in his career that it feels like he's losing his fastball, so to speak, because of the way he dealt with the rotations, whether it was Kuminga, whether it was giving Looney a little bit of time when you needed Diggs in there. He didn't allow them to participate. He went smaller lineups when he probably should have went bigger lineups. It was a weird year for him. And now this is one of those times you start really looking at, and all coaches need great players all the way around them to win championships, but as those great players start to fade, you also need your coaches to step up and do some other things to take him to the next level. And it just felt like he didn't do that this year.
I'm going A-. I think he dealt with a lot. He lost Steph Curry. I think it would be a completely different conversation right now if he hadn't. That's out of his control. I did the minus because of Kuminga, because Kuminga did come in and looked like he should have been playing more. But I think bringing in a guy like Jimmy Butler, integrating him into the system and the culture that he built, I've got it alongside Steph Curry. I've got to give him an A-. And finally, the man who Paul said could take over LeBron's era with one more NBA title, who he also beat Paul Pierce in the three-point shooting contest. Paul Pierce beat him. Steph Curry, what do you got?
I got an A for the simple fact that we had them as contenders when he was healthy. So nothing else to really say outside that I did beat Steph Curry in the three-point contest, but he does get an A.
Steph Curry gets an A from me. Not his fault that he got hurt and then they all of a sudden just went in another direction, but he gets an A.
I'm going incomplete. Did not finish the class. Must repeat.
He's a senior. He can't get into college now, Joy. He can't get an incomplete.
Incomplete.
Coming up, will the Joker be able to pull off a win as a home underdog tonight? That's next on Speak.
Ladies, you'll end up shopping for your guy's deodorant, right? So try Degree's Original Cool Rush. You see, last year, Degree changed the formula, and men were mad. One guy even started a petition. So Degree admitted they messed up and brought the Original Cool Rush scent back. It's clean, crisp, and actually smells like someone you want to cuddle. And it's in Walmart, Target, and other stores now for under $4. So toss one in your cart and find out why it's the best-selling men's antiperspirant for the last decade. Degree Cool Rush is back, and it smells like victory.
They walked in there, heel broke.
How are you walking into the club with your heel broke?
Well, what would you do if you break in the club?
Go home! The Cowboys shouldn't listen to anything I'm saying. They should actually listen to you.
I didn't say they were going to win the Super Bowl.
Joseph Keyshawn Johnson said it guaranteed
Allison,
that the Dallas Cowboys will be in the Super Bowl this year. Please send that clip to Michael Irvin.
They got Dallas popping right now.
And they just traded for
Pickens. Dallas is popping right now.
He's sitting over in the locker like this.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you never listen to anybody's speech?
Does nothing for me.
Just make sure y'all give me my touches.
They've dominated the postseason so far.
They like that mosquito.
Mosquitoes can kill you, though.
Like, yeah, they can kill you, too. They're one of the African ones. They can kill you.
Why they gotta be Africans?
We've got one game on the NBA schedule tonight. The Nuggets are down 3-2 to the Thunder and are 4.5-point home underdogs.
Ooh.
Bad man right there. Paul, do you expect Nikola Jokic to force Game 7?
I expect the best player in the world to force a Game 7 after a classic performance on the road at OKC. He's bouncing back with a win at home.
No.
Wow.
It's over.
It's over.
It's a wrap.
Yeah, they can't get, him and Murray, the only two that's going to probably show up. He scored 40-plus last game. And
I think they make it 7.
No, they're going to push this.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so, too. That's it for us. We've got a Big Ten baseball matchup coming up. Number 7, Oregon takes on Iowa next on FS1. Enjoy the game, guys. Thanks for joining us.